Portugal. There's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know.
Hola, bon dia, alegria. Munson here with Good Morning Portugal show, the live stream, the podcast, and of course the Portugal Club, where we can solve that mystery this morning. What was that? I'm giving the game away by saying it was a game. Bit of a clue. That was the Portugal quiz yesterday. What were those 4 round metal objects that look like discuses, or would that be disci, and a great big chubby pencil? Wasn't a chubby pencil, and they weren't. Well, they kind of are discuses or disci. We'll come back to that and solve that mystery in a little while. A great musical journey to make with you this morning. You may, of course, intervene with requests of your own, but I want to have a look also from the Portugal Club, actually, at the work of Paulo de Carvalho, a very interesting character in Portuguese music. And you will know, of course, that there was one notable song, or a couple, really, as we'll discover this morning, that signalled the beginning of the Carnation Revolution. Now, Paulo de Carvalho was part of that, so we'll take a look at his contribution, not only to the beginning of the signalling of the Carnation Revolution, but his musical career, because he's a fascinating character, still with us and part of the Portuguese music scene, an incredible gift and legacy to that scene. Oh, don't forget to check out Michael and Cheryl Bliss's, is it Live 360, their channel, their new music video, their new, not their own music and a music video, but their video about Portuguese music's really good. And are you seeing all these reaction videos? Morning to you, T-Duck. Who else is here this morning? Show yourself. Please say hi in the comments. Now, I have been saying to a few people, actually, if you do watch but don't say hi, please do that. You'll see your comment appear on the screen now because I've enabled that feature. Yeah, going back to Michael and Cheryl Bliss then, I think it's Live 360. They are musicians and they make videos about Portugal, which often have musical content or music and the music scene as part of the subject matter. And I saw a reaction video. That's quite a thing at the moment, isn't it? People watching other videos and reacting. So they're videoing themselves reacting to a video. So I think we kind of do that, don't we, when we put the music on? And I'm gonna react more visually, I think, and make my own little reaction videos within these live stream videos every morning. Anyway, how are you doing this morning? Before we get into the music, I was going to check out the news because Wednesday. Is it Wednesday no, I think it's Wednesday today, isn't it? Bon dia. What day is it? Quarta-feira here. Yes, it's meetup day. May well be popping down to the meetup in San Martinho de Porto this lunchtime, because there are a few people who've returned to the area after being hither and thither in the summer. So it'll be nice to connect with a few. Say goodbye. As a notable goodbye. Are you watching this morning? And there's a welcome back, as definitely at the meetup this lunchtime. So perhaps see you down there. Why was I telling you that? Oh, because it's quarta-feira. It is Wednesday, isn't it, today? Oh, dear. I know some of you don't even know the answer to that. Why am I bothering? What... hold on a minute. Quarta-feira meetup. Let me just retrace my... yes. Yesterday... Terça-feira. I'm looking at my email to see that I thought this came out on a Wednesday, but anyway, the news came in via, oh my goodness, it's disappeared into all my Portugal Weekly. I thought it was like a Portugal Midweekly. There are the 2 Substacks that come out, aren't there? There's Jorge Branco's on a Wednesday and Portugal Decoded on a Friday. Well, maybe it's Terça it comes out, or maybe he changes it. But the news headlines, let's have a look to see if we want to check out any of these news headlines before we listen to some music of Paulo de Carvalho on our musical journey here in Portugal. And that's what I've written about, actually. I've written 6 of the best, at least 6 of the best, not the best 6. Let me make that very clear, because I think I will upset some Portuguese people, especially lovers of music. Why isn't so-and-so in that list? It's difficult to do it in 1,000 words. It's definitely difficult to do it in 6 selections. And one of them I shared with you yesterday, the controversial Carmen Miranda, Brazilian bombshell, but that'll come out on Thursday, and we'll just see how many people I have upset with that. It wasn't my intention, and we may have to do further installments of that. And it's all part of this big conversation about Portuguese music at the moment. And the music keeps coming in from Vizinho Português Antonio F, doing a fantastic job supplying me with loads of music I've never heard of in Portugal. And Paulo de Carvalho this morning is part of that journey for sure. Very interesting character. Oh, and Barak's joining us. Barak in Central Portugal. Check in with him, see how he's got on with the fires. He doesn't live very far away from the Portuguese, just down the road from the Portuguese. We'll see how he's got on. And I mention him, and I'm slightly changing his feature because he is BMZ Travel. That's how he says it. I would never say Z as Z. I don't know what is wrong with people who do that. But I'm honouring the name of his company, BMZ Travel. And Barak is famous, infamous for when we used to do the Portugal Club meetings on, was it a Monday or a Tuesday? We used to have an evening meetup. I'm open to doing that again if Portugal Club members want a live meetup weekly. It might be good to go back into that in the autumn and winter and have a little bit of a gathering once a week. Barak always used to turn up with a little bit of a beef about something or other in his life in Portugal. And it always makes me quite uncomfortable when people are critical and angry about what they're dealing with in Portugal. And obviously it happens, but there's a part of an adjustment, isn't there, to being in Portugal? Calma, tranquilo. There's no point getting yourself upset there, as you can see in the picture there. And he would be beefing on getting his panties in a bunch about this or that, and we would all be sort of a little bit uncomfortable and maybe snickering a little bit at Barak's discontent. I don't think he's adjusted yet, and he's still got beef about this and that. And I want to talk to him about what that's like to be beefing about things here in Portugal and whether that's making any difference. And of course, a travel tip from him. BMZ Travel is his travel company, and he's organising trips from Portugal as well. Great place to be, of course. If you move to Europe, you are poised, aren't you, on the westernmost side of Europe for the Atlantic. You can fly down to Africa, you can fly up to Northern Europe, UK, Scandinavia, and you can go see the rest of Europe, and he'll have a nice little trip that he's curated, selected for us as well as getting his panties in a bunch about something or other here in Portugal. And we'll check out how that's going on for him. Good morning to you, Gemini. Lovely to see you here. Good morning, everyone. You say Mike's here as well. Bon dia to you. I'm guessing it's Mike. And bon dia, alegria a todos. E feliz quarta-feira from Matty. Hopefully things calming down over your way. And I didn't realise how we had some friends over from your neck of the woods, and I'm joining the dots up. And our friends Carl and Pretty were here yesterday. You, Pete, you all live very close to each other, all over there at Alpadrinha and Campo de Lorisal, as you were mentioning to us last week, Matty. I didn't realise you were all so close to each other there. I thought you were much more over to the west, as it turns out. But there you are. Quinto Entre Aguas. Check out his YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to that and keep updated with what's going on with Matty. And let's make sure that people in that area, the devastation that they've experienced, we don't drift. We will, the news agenda, our own focus will inevitably drift away from that. But there's been some serious disruption for people's lives over there. Let's see what we can do to keep them in the loop and help in whatever way we can over there. And Matty, perhaps you'll help us with that. Going back to the news then, and of course the fire would be mentioned in any serious news reporting in Portugal over the last couple of weeks. Help package announced for victims as fire breaks record. So I might just dip into that very quickly before we play some music. And also, yes, there's quite a lot of reporting there about the fire, and 2 police officers accused. Oh dear, that's gloom and doom, isn't it? Crikey! Mini Ceph police unit begins. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to give you the headlines of the fire stuff. And if you want some serious news reporting, I don't think I want to do that right now, but I do recommend Jorge Branco as a serious news reporter. I'm in terms of how accurately assiduous, is that the right word? Assiduously he approaches his task as a news reporter here in Portugal. So the Portugal Decoded and Jorge Branco definitely recommend to you if you do want a little bit of useful and what seems to be fairly objective news reporting. Right, copiar endereço do link. Let me see if that, when you copy links now, Sometimes it works out okay, doesn't it? And then sometimes there's a massive sort of Facebook link and Google link. Oh, that's good. Okay, so they're reporting their Substack of Jorge Branco, if you want that. And I'll just take the headlines from your message to me yesterday, Jorge Branco. Help package announced for victims as fire breaks record. A package of 45 measures designed to support those affected by major fires has come into effect, aiming to help in reconstruction, economic recovery, farming, infrastructure, and a range of other areas. Thank goodness for that. Glad to see the central government is taking this seriously and doing something for those people who've been affected. In the bill approved by the Council of Ministers last week, so maybe they were recalled from their holidays and stopped posing for pictures on the beach and came back and did their job. Signed by President Marcelo Rebelo de Sousa at the weekend, the government said its first goal was prevention and mitigation of the tragic reality of the fires, but that other measures were also needed. And we've heard this before, of course, and there will be a sort of cynicism and weariness about this because this was said after 2017 and those terrible fires. For individuals, the government promised some level of financial support for loss of earnings and essential goods, reinforced healthcare, and psychosocial help for affected residents. Yeah, the trauma of that will be considerable because you have to live in that landscape until it regenerates. Albeit quickly, I was told by my friends yesterday. Within 6 months, it's hard to tell there's been anything happening there, such as the great growth and fecundity and fertility of central Portugal. Homeowners with damaged or destroyed homes will be able to access reconstruction funds of up to €250,000 and temporary housing. Businesses have access to financial help for loss of earnings as well as special lines of credit. Predominantly small-scale farmers get up to 10 grand to help with restocking, replanting and soil stabilisation. Good morning, Jenny. Are you going to come and join me? Yes, she is. The government also promised environmental help to prevent floods, landslides and erosions and help with reformations. There'll also be help to local councils to help them fix infrastructure such as roads, bridges and electricity networks, along with schools, health centres and sport and cultural institutions. The Council of Ministers also approved a plan for how to better manage the nation's forest. This is the important thing, isn't it? How to replant with native species and not plant tinderboxes, basically. This is a plan leading up to 2050. The National Pact, as Prime Minister Luis Montenegro called it, includes measures to improve fire prevention, better capitalise financially on forestry areas, and improve governance of the sector. Experts describe the long-term plan as being very similar to what was already in place, however, and with less money promised, but the government said there would be better coordination between ministries and guaranteed funding. Often that is the breakdown, isn't it? Money is assigned, ideas, people come up with ideas, but the implementation, the connectedness is not there. Hopefully it will work out better this time. There is the link to that, Jorge Branco, substack.com. Okay, let's move on then. Before we do, I saw a news article that payment for reconstruction of the 2017 fires for houses has not been paid. Oh my God. Okay, Matty, yeah. I will do what I can, maybe not right now, and maybe obviously mixing it up with our messages of positivity, upbeatness and lightheartedness in the morning show. But there are other outlets for me to make the case. The Portugal resident, of course, and over at the Portugal Club. We can and should do that. Thank you, Matty, for that. Right, let me have a quick cough. Have I got a cat allergy? If I do, and I think I do, that's not good news because Jenny has now made herself comfortable on my lap here. I'm like an old lady presenting this morning with my cat on my lap as I listen to some old music from Paulo de Carvalho. Right, let's go to him. Oh, actually, no, first things first, over at the Portugal Club. Let's solve that mystery of the Portugal quiz yesterday. Thank you to those of you who did vote on that yesterday and make your guess with what you thought the game was. See you soon, Barak, 8:30 with Barak's Beef. Yes, go over to the Portugal Club, then GMP VIP or theportugalclub.com. And yes, that's true, Eileen. It does look a little bit like the horseshoes game. And I think there's a version of this everywhere around the world, isn't there? Wherever there are horseshoes, open spaces, and men who want to drink beer and compete with each other. It's not colouring for adults, as seen in Lisbon co-working spaces. If I give you a blow-up on that picture there and show you the pitch as well, that's one local to me. And I was told when I posted that in our Men's Shed group, that it was a popular game in the countryside, but now is beginning to be forgotten. I was told when I asked a Portuguese friend, is it that colouring for adults because of that stubby pencil? Is it Malha a game? Is it Cinquillo a game? Is it a medieval gym, as recently discovered in Gibraltar? Or is it the beginnings of a go-kart, Alentejo and Flintstone style? It is, of course, a game, and a little bit of a trick question because it is both known as Malha and Cinquillo. So congratulations if you guessed that right. I'm going to put my selection in there as Cinquillo. So 2 votes for Malha, 2 votes for Cinquillo. All right there, 100% correct for those who bothered to vote over there at the Portugal Club. Let's click then onto the classroom and wend our way over. I was going to work through these alphabetically, such as they've been set up. And you can see all these names here that Vizinho Portuguese Antonio F. has shared with us. That's one of the tunes I'm playing this morning from Paulo de Carvalho. I did have Barbara Bandeira, Barbara Flag, on up next. And I said, no, I'm not feeling it with Barbara. So I went to have a look at Paulo de Carvalho, who I hope you can see on your screen there. Yes, you can. Because I love the crooners of that age. You can see him there with his 70s suit on, massive lapels, massive collar, nice big knot on his tie, and a big old bushy barnet from the 70s. That's a hairdo if you're not from the UK and talk with that 70s vernacular. And we do need to play this tune. And I think then we'll have a little look at him and work our way backwards, because he was in a band called The Shakes, who were the Beatles of Portugal, I discovered at around 7:30 this morning. Nearly got distracted with my little journey down memory lane. And I can play for you, I think they're original tunes, Missing You or Copo, or cover versions, Summertime, and These Boots Are Made for Walking. Let me know if you have a preference on any of those, but we must play this and give you the backstory thereafter. Okay, Paulo de Carvalho, ladies and gentlemen.
Quis saber quem sou, o que faço aqui, quem me abandonou, de quem me esqueci. Perguntei por mim,
Canção número 5.
quis saber de nós, mas o mar não me traz tua voz. Em silêncio, amor, em tristeza e fim, eu te sinto em flor, eu te sofro em mim, eu te lembro assim, partir é morrer, como amar é ganhar e perder. Em flor, eu te desfolhei, tu te deste em amor, eu nada te dei. Em teu corpo, amor, eu adormeci, morri nele, e ao morrer do amor, e depois de nós, o dizer adeus, o ficarmos sós, teu lugar a mais, tu
big finish. That is a big finish, ladies and gentlemen. Who doesn't like a big finish first thing, well, probably last thing at night. In fact, now, Paulo de Carvalho there. Thank you, Vizinho Portuguese Antonio F., for the introduction. Let's go to the Wikipedia page to find out a bit more about this gentleman. Love that sound. Love the era when people sang in dinner jackets. I'm going to a wedding soon, and it's cocktail attire I'm thinking of wearing. Mixing it up a bit like Pharrell Williams and going for dinner jacket up top and shorts downstairs. What do you think? Have you got any suggestions for me apart from no, don't do that? Right. Paulo de Carvalho in nighttime mode on Wikipedia here for a bit of contrast. Very interesting. I began to read this early this morning. Carvalho co-founded the band The Shakes in 1965. A very good year, I have to say. He sang and played the drums. We do like an artist who sings and plays the drums. That would include Phil Collins and Marvin Gaye, would it not? He also played an instrumental role. No, hold on a minute. Very good. That works on so many levels. Let me do that again and actually select the right sound effect. He also played an instrumental role. The drummer, rim shot, ba-dum-dum tish there. And I don't know who writes this on Wikipedia, but he played an instrumental role as a musician, either as a founder or a guest of many other important Portuguese bands of the 1960s, among them Fluido, Banda Quatro, and Thilo's Combo. The Shakes was Portugal's answer to the Beatles, and we'll hear the music of them right now. And the great thing about 60s music is if you don't like it, it's probably all done and dusted within about 2 minutes. The tunes are like 2 minutes 20, I think. So we'll have time to sample a couple of those, maybe a cover version, and maybe what sounds to me like an original, although I'm not entirely sure. It wasn't easy to find out a lot of information about the Shakes, but I did. During the 60s, Portugal was ruled by an authoritarian dictatorship. I think we know that now. This band came as a result of the climate in Portugal and captured the national mood. Now, that's always very interesting, isn't it, when music is the counterculture. The bands, do we have that? Have young people got a musical counterculture at the moment? My God, they need it, don't they? They need inspiration, hope and positivity bubbling up from the depths of the collective psyche. But I've yet to hear or see it. The people, not like in my day, the people wanted the brightness of the Beatles sound, and the Shakes provided. The band sang songs such as Summertime, is that enough sibilance for you? Missing You, and Tell Me Bird. Though the band eventually broke up and Carvalho moved into contemporary fado, the Shakes, did he get a visit from the government, I wonder? The Shakes have regrouped and performed in recent years. Isn't that fabulous? As a solo performer, Carvalho participated in the Festival Artipé de Canção and Eurovision Song Contest in 74 and 77. Hold on a minute. That cat. Actually, it might be the cat, and I don't know where she's probably looking at me from a high space in this, ready to pounce on me and eat my face. But it's got very moist and humid here. The swell in the sea yesterday was noticeable. I might have time to play some video of that. Actually, yes, that would be good to put on the screen. If not today, then tomorrow, whilst the music is playing. Some amazing foamy water around here. So it's got much moister and more humid, and the air is wetter and damper as a result of the perturbation and turbulence that has come with these big swollen tides of yesterday, and I think that's still ongoing. Anyway, it was his song, the Portuguese entry for the Eurovision Song Contest, E Depois do Adeus, which was used as the passcode at the beginning of the coup, which toppled Portugal's dictatorship in what has become known as the Carnation Revolution, giving Carvalho a permanent place in his country's history. What a legend then. During the 70s and early 80s, Carvalho won many international performance awards in Bulgaria, Poland and Belgium, and was a strong participant in other music festivals in Chile, Argentina and Spain. So in 85, he began professionally associating himself with fado, deferring to Portugal's traditional music as globalization came to be seen as a threat to his homeland's cultural heritage. Yes! Stick it to the globalizing man there, Paulo de Carvalho. So let's hear then some of his 60s music when he was I'm guessing he was at least the drummer and perhaps the vocalist for the Shakes. And here they were the Portugal's Beatles. So let's have a listen, shall we? Let's go first then, before we go to the covers, either Summertime or these. I think we'll go for These Boots Are Made for Walking. There's Missing You and Coppo. Coppo stayed more with me as a bit of an earwormy thing, and I always like anything to do with a drink. Oh yes, so you know, it's Top Shelf Tipples on Monday with the Good Morning Portugal, Good Morning Portugal Wine Club. Is that what we call it? It's only been 5 years. Too much wine, Carl. Yes, we like to raise a coppo. We're doing that on Monday evening. And that's Top Shelf Tipple. So, you know, when you go into a cafe in Portugal, and while you're waiting, this is a bakery, even a cafe, you look up and the top shelf before you is where the aguardente, masaela is it called? The Berão might be there, the Ginginha. Which of those do you favour? Come tell us about those and share one with us on Monday. Here's Coppo. Let's raise a drink to that right now.
O copo escorregou da mão, caiu e partiu ao bater no chão. Não sei mais que mamãe vai dizer quando vir o que eu fui fazer no copo ao bater no chão. Eu peguei o copo e o copo escorregou da mão. Caiu, me partiu ao bater no chão. Não sei mais que mamãe vai dizer quando vir o que eu fui fazer no copo ao bater no chão. Sei que vou levar uma tapa, sei que vou ficar de castigo, sei, mas eu não me importo, porque não sou mau. Mas eu não me importo, porque não sou mau.
Oh boy.
Yes, boy.
E o copo escorregou da mão, caiu e partiu ao bater no chão. Não sei mais que mamãe vai dizer quando vir o que eu fui fazer no copo ao bater no chão, ao bater no chão.
Time for another quickie, a cover version. These Boots Are Made for Walking, as popularised by Nancy Sinatra.
You keep saying you got something for me, something you call love, but confess you've been a mess where you shouldn't be missing, yeah. And now someone else is getting all your best.
Come on, sing along now.
These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days these boots are gonna walk all over you. You keep lying where you ought to be proven. You keep losing where you ought to my bet. Oh, you keep saying when you ought to be changing, yeah. And I was right, but ain't it been right, guess. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days these boots are gonna walk all over you. You keep playing where you used to be playing. You keep thinking that you never get burned. I just found me a granny box of matches. And you know what you know, you ain't have time to learn. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you.
There you go. Amazing, the Shakes there and their version of These Boots Are Made for Walking, the work of Paulo de Carvalho.
Start walking.
Pretty respectable cover there. The Shakes, when Paulo de Carvalho was part of the scene here in the 60s in Portugal, making music that sounded like the Beatles. Quick button press, costume change, and all of that sort of thing to bring. Okay, stand by, hold on to your seat. There you go. We're just leveling things up so we can have a decent conversation with Barak from BMZ Travel, and also he of the Barak's Beef. Let's give him a nice round of applause and bring him onto the screen. These boots are made for walking. That's a really good tune. Great tune for a travel company, right? These boots are made for walking.
Absolutely. Bom dia, bom dia.
Bom dia, tudo bem? Como está?
Tudo, you too?
Muito bem, obrigado. Great listening to a few tunes by a Portuguese legend this morning. He was one of the two tunes, actually, that signaled the start of the Carnation Revolution. If you were thinking, hold on a minute, no, that wasn't the one that started the revolution. You may have been thinking of Grandola Villa Morena by Zeca Afonso as well, which was also another signaling song on April the 24th. Of 1974. Right. You're starting your own little revolution, I believe, over in Central Portugal there. You're a bit beefy about some of the things that are going on, some of the experiences you've been having. And I was explaining to everyone, Barak,
a little bit.
On a Monday and Tuesday evening, whenever it was when we used to meet, I would come to you on the screen and say, Barak, how are you this week? And you'd be like, this has happened or that's happened. And I think these things are still happening. I'm thinking, okay, let's see where he is right now. And you know me, my view is like calma, tranquilo, go with the flow. You're not that kind of personality, right? Is it fair to say that?
I can't. No. I used to be a little more aggressive living in the U.S., if you can imagine. And now moving here, I've calmed down, but it's...
Really?
I know. Hard to believe, isn't it?
It's
kind of a shock. I'm sorry. Yes, it is. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So we will have a lovely palate cleanser with one of your travel ideas. You treated us to a range last time, and that, of course, you've launched BMZ over here as a way of helping people take advantage of this great position we have on the globe to experience other travel experiences. We'll finish with that. But what's Barak's beef this month then? What's been on your mind? What's getting your panties in a bunch?
Well, so lately, the most latest. So as you know, I've got a little quinta here in Central Portugal, and apparently if you own X number of meters, you are able to get money back from Portugal, kind of like an agricultural stipend, if you will.
Yeah,
so,
subsidy.
Okay. Yeah. So I thought, oh, that'll be great. I'll take advantage of that. Why not? So I've got about 12,000 meters, and you need 10. And I've got olive trees and fruit trees and nut trees, and I'm a nut as it is, but I've got all that stuff on my property.
Definitely at home.
So yeah, of course. and so I went into IFAP and I said, I want to take advantage of the stipend. And they said, okay, great. You need minimum of 10,000. I said, great. I've got 12. And they looked me up and they said, oh, you're a little short. I said,
how dare you?
My height. Yeah, we're not talking about my height. We're talking about my property. And the guy said, well, no, come around and look at the property. And I said, okay, but you're missing this whole section here and this section down here. Oh, that's yours? Well, according to the plot of survey and the property that I bought and where the fence line is, yes, that's mine. And he said, oh, well, come back in September. and this was in June. I said, why am I coming back in September? Oh, we'll have to do the satellites. Huh?
Satellites.
Okay. This is Portugal, whatever. So I went to the barn, talked to the girls there, and they said, no. Let's go talk to the gentleman in Saya. Okay. Went to talk to the gentleman in Saya, took my paperwork, and the gentleman there said, I don't know what he's talking about. Show me. So I showed him. He said, okay. So he took his little clicker and he moved it and he enlarged it. He said, ooh, is that it? I said, yes. He said, okay. Fill out this paperwork and everything will be great. Fine. Filled it all out, gave it back to him. He said, okay, that's it. I thought, great, done deal. Easy, right? No. We're in Portugal. No. Went home. About a month or so later, it goes by. Now we're in mid-August, and I'm thinking, should I have gotten a check, a letter, something? So I went back to the girls at the barn, and they said, did you get anything? I said, no. They said, well, did you get this or fill that paperwork out? What other paperwork did I need to fill out? So they told me, and I said, no. They said, well, you might want to go and see IFAP again or check your mailbox. Okay, check my mailbox. And sure enough, there's a letter in there that says, oh, we need this. And if you don't have your social security number, then we can't do that either. Okay, social security numbers if I'm a citizen. I'm not a citizen yet. I'm a resident. Okay, this is getting way complicated. Went back to IFAP and I said, what's going on? And he said, oh, did we talked about this and you only had 8,000. I said, or 10,000. I said, no, I've got 12. Well, here's an app, put it on your phone, go take pictures and then send the pictures to me.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Put the app on my phone, ran back to my place, took pictures. I couldn't upload the pictures onto the app.
Oh dear. Right. But all the time this is happening, Barak, you're saying to yourself, calma, tranquilo. This is part of my adjustment to Portuguese life. Right. I will stay calm. I will stay calm.
Well, at the end of it, I'm sitting there thinking, is all of this really worth it for maybe 150 euros a year?
Oh, really? Is that what we're talking about? Oh, okay.
Not a month, not quarterly, a year. Is all of this really worth Are you kidding? I blow more than that in a weekend.
Now, there are times when you think to yourself, hold on a minute, this isn't making sense, is it? Because you talked about at least 2 government employees there.
Yes.
Whose time you would imagine to dispense 150 euros to you has already been covered.
It's already been
matched
yes.
by their efforts. This is one of those situations where you might rightly be frustrated if only from a sort of political, philosophical point of view, sociological point of view. This doesn't really make sense, does it? The amount of money we're talking about has been far outweighed by the energy and time charged by the workers here. And this is a criticism, of course, of bureaucracy and the EU generally. It's not just Portugal. I'm guessing these are EU funds that you're drawing down, are they?
Yes. Well, and so the amount of time that I've taken, the fuel that I've used driving back and forth to IFAP here in Oliveira Hospital, driving back and forth to Saya, it just far exceeds the pittance that they're going to give me, right?
Yes. But collectively, that whole episode and what that's worth, not just for you, but the whole thing to have that happen. It's a bit like, the money that's collecting taxes costs money, doesn't it? And then giving them out cost money as well. So there's all of the on costs as well. Matty has been his ears have pricked up with this because it is something I think we should perhaps pursue, at least on behalf of those landowners here who might get a little bit of that pittance, but hopefully it will be a lot easier than you've discovered. Queen and Convict loving the music this morning. I think also with a bit of land they might be interested. Just a couple of things to clarify. IFAP that you mentioned. is basically the agricultural ministry of Portugal, is it not?
Correct.
Right, okay.
Correct.
All right.
Once you've got the documents and once it's clear, it's easy.
Yes,
It's,
like everything.
It's getting to it, right. It's just getting to that point.
Yes.
So okay, I called the gentleman up and I said, hey, your app, it just doesn't work. Should I just take some regular pictures and just email them to you? He's like, yeah, that's right. That's great.
Yes.
Okay. Took some pictures, sent them to him, drove back to go see him, make sure he got them. And he said, well, who did you talk to in Saya that said you had enough property? And I told him, and he says, oh, that guy's a commie. Okay.
No way. That guy's a commie.
He said, oh, he said he's a commie. He's nice, but he's a commie.
Right. Meaning what though?
Okay.
Exactly. What was built into that slur? I'm guessing it was a slur rather than a compliment.
It was, but I said, this is what the gentleman told me. This is his name. Oh, yeah, he's nice, but he's a commie.
Oh my goodness. Right. Okay.
Yeah, I said, all right, you know what? Communist, socialist, fascist, or democratic. At this point,
that's not the point right now, is it? That's not the point right now.
I don't care. What his political stance is, I don't care. The fact is that he's helped me more than you have.
Yes.
So let's get this together and get it done.
Yes.
So he's like, oh yeah, okay. So you've got this, you've got that. Okay.
Things are getting exciting in Stable House. Is that someone knocking on the? Have you got Amazon delivery possibly?
Not this early.
No, not this early.
What?
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they're playing. They need to go outside.
Pooch is happy now.
Go
Pooch is happy.
on the acres that we didn't say we had. So finally went back to the gentleman, showed him. He's like, oh, okay, well that looks fine. We'll load all these pictures and we'll get you paid.
Yeah. Well, okay, we're getting there.
Okay, and so is that all I need to do? That's it. Everything's fine.
Yep, you'll be fine.
I get a letter that says, again, I need my Social Security. No. I get this. I'm like, now what? All right. So I go to the Social Security office.
Oh, good man.
Yeah, and I hand the lady the letter, and I said, I don't think I'm entitled to Social Security. I don't work here. I barely live here, but I do live here. I have no reason to take advantage of the Social Security benefits. So on this letter, it says, I need a declaration saying I'm exempt. And she says,
he's a commie.
Hold a minute. Yeah, she's like, wait. Okay, she gets up, she walks away. You can't tell me this is the first time you've ever seen this letter. Honestly, this can't be the first time you've ever seen it. She goes, she gets a colleague. I hear him talking in the back. They come back. She sits down. She starts typing. He's telling her what to type. She's putting it in. I hand her my residency card. It's got my NIF on it, everything. She looks at me, gets up, goes to the printer, comes back. Here you go. Okay, I'm exempt from Social Security. So I guess when I do get my citizenship, that's one less thing I have to worry about ever again. I'm exempt. So got that out of the way.
I've got a feeling, but this isn't the end of that.
This isn't the end. No,
Okay.
I'm sure not.
Yeah.
Took the letter back to the IFAP. I said, here. She looked at it. She says, you need your Social Security number. I said, no, I get exempt. She said, why are you exempt? I said, because I'm an American living in Portugal. That's why.
Yeah.
I said, because I'm not entitled to your Social Security. If you want me to be entitled to your Social Security and you want to give me Social Security benefits, I'm happy to take them, but I'm not entitled to it.
Yes.
She looks at the letter. Oh, it does say a declaration of exemption, doesn't it? The letter came from you. It's your letter. It's IFAP's letter that says I need a declaration of exemption. It's your letter, and you're telling me you don't know what's in your own letter.
Yes.
Yes. Here's my declaration of exemption. Here's your own letter.
And
enter
how
them
is
in
your
your system.
countenance? How is your countenance at this point? Are you managing to stay calm and
I'm not sure whether to laugh, cry, or smack somebody.
right? Okay, don't do the last one. Don't do the
No,
last
no,
one.
no, no, no. I wouldn't do that. But so she says, "Well, this is my first time to do this." I said,
Oh,
"Mine
okay.
too." I said, "Mine too." It's
Yeah.
the first time I've done this
Oh,
too.
that's a sort of bonding moment.
Right.
Right. Okay, that's good.
I didn't
That's
know what else to do other than say,
good.
"Really? Are
Yeah.
you that crazy?" All right. My first time to do this. I said, "Mine too." So we'll get through this. She's
Oh,
like,
bless you.
"Okay." So she's like, "So what do I need to do?" Again, my first time. The letter's here. It says you need
I was
to
hoping
upload
you'd know. Yeah.
Right. You're the one that's employed by IFAC, not me. I said, if you want to move over, I'll sit down, I'll enter it, and we'll be good. She's like, oh, I guess I just need to upload it. Yeah, I guess
Let's
so.
try that. Let's try that. Let's
Yeah,
try it.
let's do that.
Yes, yes.
So she goes in. She says, do you remember your login and your password? No, you all gave that to me. So the gentleman that was here, that is not here today, but you're here, says he keeps a record of all that. So maybe you have it?
Yeah.
Well, let me see your NIF. Here's my NIF. Oh, I can get in that way. Perfect.
Excellent.
She gets in, she uploads the document. I said, okay, so you have everything. She said, yeah, come here, look. I said, okay. She said, here's all your documents. This is you. Here's everything we have. It'll be great. Okay. Now, I'm supposed to get paid once a year. She said, if you don't get paid at the end of August, don't panic. Okay. She said, come back in September. If you don't get paid by the end of September, come back, and then we'll figure it out from there.
Yes. Okay.
Right.
Is that where you're at now? Then that's the state of play, is it?
That's where I am.
Well done. A round of applause. Well done on that, and for pushing it that far and not giving up. There is interest in our community here. Mel would like to know. Matty also. He's been told something. I think he wasn't suitable because he only has grassland. So maybe there's a little bit of a.
Yes, I had that whole issue as well. They said, oh, you don't have enough pasture land. I said, I'm not applying for pasture land. I said, I am applying for agricultural land. I'm applying for my olive trees. Oh,
Yes.
well, that's different. Yes, it is. I know. So how many olive trees do you have? I've got about 25 olive trees. Oh, okay. Well, that'll work.
Well, I can put you all together. If you all indicate
Yes.
that, we can connect you as the farmers of Good Morning Portugal, because there are obviously other issues that affect your lives here collectively. Well done, Matty, on having your NIF, NIS, and SNS. While we're here, and while that's been mentioned, look, it's all right for you, Roy, laughing at us foreigners here. I am so loving this. Yes, please connect us up, says
I
Mel.
was too.
All right. The NIF is what all responsible grandparents give their grandchildren as soon as they're born. That is your tax code number here in Portugal. Número identificação fiscal, possibly, also known as your when you're in the supermarket, contribuinte. You'll be asked for to assign the spending against your tax code. NIS is the number that you're referring to there, Barak, right? That's the social security number. It normally has two S's. Right. I guess número identificação segurança social, and the SNS is the UTENT, aka the UTENT number, which is your health number. So those are the three magic numbers here in Portugal. Some people, like me and Matty, have all three. You kind of do, but you're exempt from the social security.
Correct.
You are now anyway. I have 34 trees. You don't want to be paying Portuguese social security. Take it from a man whose eyes water every month. If possible, you don't want to be paying Portuguese social security, such that you can get a pension in the year 2048 or 3001 of 10 euros a year, or whatever that 150 a year that you're going to get for your olive trees. I have 34 trees, and they told me it is not enough. There were 40 these registrations. It's bizarre, isn't it? And it costs so much money to be pushing this backwards and forwards, and people's time and effort. There has to be a better way. Yes, social security is crazy expensive. It really is. All right, so a few things, Barry. Another clarification. The girls at the bar Now, I need you to explain what you mean by the girls at the bar, because it sounds like
Girls
you're
at
in
the barn.
Thailand.
Barn,
Oh, the
barn,
barn.
barn.
The barn.
Barn.
That's my
No,
mind.
no.
Girls at the bar. Right. We're not suddenly in
Yeah, there are
Bangkok.
girls at the bar, but they weren't helping me with this.
So this is livery equestrian barn. They
Yes,
know a little
yes,
bit about this.
yes.
And then these are
we're at the horses.
yeah, these are the allies we need in Portuguese life, aren't we? The people who
Yes.
have either cracked it or suffer in a similar way. So either way, you get help, right? So if it works out, it's like, thanks for showing me, or they're a shoulder to cry on because they're facing the same frustrations. How has this, in terms of Barak's beef, how has this affected you as a man and your process here in Portugal? You are surrounded by smouldering trees at the moment as well. How is your mental health, if I may be so bold and presumptuous as to ask you that, given that these situations have upset you a little bit in your first year here?
It's, I just take it with a grain of salt.
Well done.
It's just I'm looking at it as just part of life here. And like I said, okay, if at the end of the day, and I've spent 3-4 months going back and forth, and I've spent 500 euros in fuel and God knows how much time, and they come back and they say, I'm sorry, we thought you were eligible, but you're not, even though we cheated you on your land, but now you have the land and you've got the paperwork to show it, but we don't show it. We need to wait for the satellites, but they got messed up because Elon Musk did something. You're just not going to get your
blame Elon.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're not going to get your 150 a year.
Yeah. Okay. Or you'll get 10,000 euros in your bank, and right. Administrative error, or they're paying it all up front because the fund is coming to an end, and we just got to get rid of the money. Take it. That might also happen. Yes. Okay.
Or they'll sit there and they'll say, well, the person who owned the property prior to you for the past 20 years didn't do this. And this has been like this for, I don't know how long. So we're just going to pay you back money. Okay.
Yeah,
pay me
but
back
we shall
money.
see. We shall see.
There's
a reservoir of cash building up and coming your way, Barak. I have
Right.
to say, I think you have changed a little bit, because I was expecting Barak's beef to be a lot beefier than this. I think Portugal is working its magic on you. I think you have calmed down a bit. Would you agree?
A little bit, yeah.
Nice. Okay, excellent. And Rui says you will live longer on account of being here. So it may be worth paying those social security contributions, 30 euros. And I pay 13% of my income. Not sure how they do all this across all things. No, it's a mystery. It's an arcane, esoteric matter, I think, social security and taxation here. And there are just people who pretend to know, and they're the ones you need to speak to. Right. And I don't think anyone really knows. It's a horrible sort of seething mess of rules and regulations, and you just got to run through it like a scene from Lord of the Rings, really, and hope to get to the other side. Right. Well, fire, pillars collapsing, Gandalf beckoning you on. You can get through this, my
Jump
boy.
On the eagle. Yeah. Yes.
Jump on an eagle, mind the swinging ball. There you go. That's what
you know what the takeaway from this is, right?
Go on.
The takeaway from this is go to the SNS and go to the Social Security and tell them, look, I'm exempt from tax from your Social Security, so just give me my declaration of exemption, and I don't have to worry about all that.
Oh, no, sorry, it doesn't work like that. No.
Oh, well.
I mean, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? You can't just
work for me.
No. You can't go in there with all your logic and simplicity. There are rules to these things, Barak. How dare you? Right. Okay. Well, I'm glad to see you're taking this well, and with a pinch of salt, a smile on your face. Perhaps let's have a palate cleanse. We look forward to next month's adventure with you and how you're coping with it. And maybe by next month you will have been paid, and the drinks are on you. With this, or the olive oil is on you.
There you go.
Right.
We can hope,
because that's the whole point of this, isn't it? Is to encourage you. And I'm, in all seriousness here with what's going on in Central Portugal. And I think there's an organised kind of collapse of rural life going on, a neglect, if not a sort of purposeful thing. There's a neglect of rural life all around the world. and we see, people appreciating, respecting it, and holding on to it to some extent in Portugal. Been made very difficult by the fires, but there's a steady decline. The globalization is making life hard for people who live in the country and who want to live like that. And I'm all for a subsidy or support, an incentive to carry on that way of life. So I do hope you get it, and I hope those funds are used well and appropriately. But we shall see. We shall see what happens with that. How about then a palate cleanse? You are, of course, the CEO of BMZ. It's correct to call you that, isn't it? Your travel company. Yes. And you've got a Turkish tickler for us this morning. A proposed trip to Turkey. What a great place to go! This is the crucible, isn't it, of where East meets West. Are we going to Constantinople? Because I could have played that. That was one of the tunes by the Sheikhs this morning.
Yeah. So Turkey is right there, between Europe and Asia. So
yeah, right.
Let me see if I can figure out how to share screen again.
Oh, cool. Okay, well done. There's a chat going on about social security. We, as well as a farmers group, we might have a taxation and social security group to help us all understand this sort of stuff. So that might be useful too. Right. I should get a little message my side saying Barak wants to share, but we're heading off on one of your special tours, yeah, to have a little mosey around Turkey. Beautiful place, and Cyprus as well, says Gemini. Gemini might be interested. You can check out the last chat I had with Barak on our YouTube channel, where he proposed a number of tours around Europe. We had a little selection.
Here we go.
Here we go. Right. Okay. I'm seeing something here. Let's have a look. There we go. There's your BMZ trip to Turkey.
Right.
All right. A lot cheaper than Portugal as well, apparently. Okay.
Yeah. So, this is a great little trip. It's an 8-day, 7-night trip. It's 1,907 per person, but it includes everything. It includes your airfare. It includes all of your meals. It includes your 4-star hotels. Includes your tours, all with English-speaking guides. So, day one, you leave Lisbon or Porto, whichever one is easiest and closest to you, and fly off to Istanbul.
Right.
First day, you're not doing a whole lot. You got to fly there. You're met. Kind of walk around. Get used to.
You are met. You're going to get a proper tour. Right? You're not on your own, right? Okay.
Yes. No. Correct. You are met at the airport. All of your transfers are paid for. All of your transfers are accounted for.
Cool.
And you'll be taken to your hotel. Day 2, you spend going through Istanbul. So it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. You'll go to the Mirror of the Heavens on Earth. You'll do the Blue Mosque, piece of architecture.
Yeah.
You'll do lunch. Lunch is included at a local restaurant. Let's see. We'll do.
Gemini's already loving this. Excellent deal. Well, we get the gist. You're going to see some beauty here, aren't you? And that crossover point, East meeting West. What an exciting place to be.
Then next day, day 3, you'll be in Istanbul a little bit. Then you'll go to Ankara, and again, meals are taken care of. So you'll have breakfast at the hotel. You'll go to the Grand Bazaar. You'll do a little cruise on the Bosphorus Strait, which is, again, like we were saying, between the East and West, or Europe and Asia.
Wonderful.
You get a little history lesson. You'll go and to some Ottoman mansions, charming hotels, mosques, palaces. Then you have lunch. You'll have dinner. You'll get into Ankara. And so then on day 4, you'll be Ankara to Cappadocia. And that is, Ankara is the capital city of Turkey. You'll do some of the museums there. You'll do the Salt Lake Road, not Salt Lake City. You'll do the structure. You'll do amazing structures carved into the rock, and thousands of people stayed between 6th and 9th centuries. From there, you'll go to Cappadocia, and let's see here. Scroll along. There we go. While you're in Cappadocia, you actually have the opportunity, based on weather, of course, to do a balloon ride. So if you want to do a higher balloon over the city and over the area, that's a little extra. You can do that. Yeah. You'll go to open air museums, cave churches. You'll do the Valley of the Camels. It's just an amazing place.
Amazing.
Yeah, from there.
Open air museum. Open air museum. Is that a ruin, basically? Is that a way of marketing a ruin, an open air museum?
It is. Yeah. It's let me see.
Well, it's an excellent deal, says Gemini. Your Turkish delight here. Adrian's saying Istanbul prophesied to return to the Greeks after about 580 years. That's quite specific. In 2000, exciting times ahead for the Greeks. They've got enough problems, I think, without having constant.
They have enough problems.
Return to them.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay.
You go to Cappadocia, to Konya, to Pamukkale, and you'll go to the limestone pools. So you'll be able to go and sit in the limestone pools.
That's them there,
Go
isn't
to
it?
the leather production, yes. Archaeological site in Ephesus. And, from there you're off to Ephesus and Izmir. Sorry.
Ephesus.
And Ephesus, yep. And you'll do a bunch of the sites there. House of the Virgin Mary is out that way. There's they do economic production of leather and furs, so you'll be able to go and do a tour through there. They've got carpets, a carpet factory, so you'll go and check out the Turkish carpets. Like I said, all meals are taken care of.
Amazing.
And,
so how many days altogether are we talking about here,
It's
Brad?
8 days.
8 days for $2,000. That's not too bad, is it? With all your flights
No.
included and all your transport and transfers in there as well. That's fantastic. Wonderful.
And
Thank
meals. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
meals as well. You get fed for that.
And then,
Superb.
and then here's kind of an idea of the 4-star hotel. So you'll be staying in
Very
Oxenal, Taksim.
Excellent.
So it's
Okay.
yeah,
Well,
it's,
if
a
you
good deal.
send me my tickets, I will review it for the Portugal resident gladly. All right. So I'll see you there, mate, on that. Very good. That's wonderful. Thank you. So just under $2,000, and it's a nice contrast, isn't it, to your 150 euros that you've spent.
I'll have to save up a few years to get.
That's right. Save up a few years for the Turkish delight trip. Really
Right.
good. Thank you very much. And if people want to find out about this and other tours that you can put together for people, where should they go, Barak?
They go to BMZ Travel on Facebook. They can WhatsApp me at 9666-954-99.
Okay.
They can call. They can WhatsApp.
And I can connect you. I can connect you as well.
Connect, absolutely.
All right, mate. It's past 9 o'clock. We got a little bit distracted there, going off into where East meets West in Turkey. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing your Barak's beef of the month. We look forward to seeing you again and finding out if that money has been paid or not. And another lovely little travel itinerary, basically, that you've put together for people. Because, as I said before, this is a great place to be in Portugal. And a great place to be poised like a coil spring, ready to fly across the Atlantic, up to Northern Europe, down to Africa, over, as you've described there, to Turkey. So good luck with BMZ Travel as well. And have a lovely month. And I hope the recovery from the fires is a good one for you over there, because you're seeing that and sniffing that in the distance, aren't you? With a falling ash like the Portuguese had. So all the best to you.
We had my
and
balls
yours over there. All right, mate. And as Sarah quite rightly pointed out, I'm ahead of you here, Sarah. The perfect song for this is They Might Be Giants, Istanbul, not Constantinople. I've got the tune and I've got a version by the Shakes. Now, I'm not sure if this is the reformation of the Shakes that Paulo de Carvalho is involved with, but it sounds appropriate anyway to play. And I've already got lined up the Shakes version, not They Might Be Giants. We'll have to do that next time we play that tune, Sarah. But a great minds thinking alike there. Barak, thank you so much. Oh, quickie from Adrian. I have on my door, Anonymous Prophecy, Mount Athos, 1053. Was Brexit was forecast as well, was it, from the same source? Battle of Constantinople, Latins reverting to orthodoxy amidst rejoicing, conversion of the surviving Turks. Well, all of that to look forward to. We're going to go out with the Shakes, Istanbul, not Constantinople. Cheers, Barak. Nice big round of applause for you.
Take care.
You take care. All right, bye for now. All right, there he goes. And we will just adjust so you can hear this in glorious stereo quality. Watch out. Yes, change of level there. And we play out this morning with the Shakes. Istanbul, not Constantinople.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Constantinople, now it's Istanbul, not Constantinople. Been a long time gone, all Constantinople still is Turkish delight on a moonlit night. Every girl in Constantinople lives in Istanbul, not Constantinople. So if you were dating Constantinople, she'd be waiting in Istanbul. Even old New York was once New Amsterdam. Why they changed it, I can say, because people just like it better that way. Oh, take me back to Constantinople. No, you can't go back to Constantinople. Now it's Istanbul, not Constantinople. Why did Constantinople get the works? And that's nobody's business but the... Once New Amsterdam. Why they changed it, I can say, because people just like it better that way. Take me back to Constantinople. No, you can't go back to Constantinople. Now it's Istanbul, not Constantinople. Why did Constantinople get the works?
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts